Hello everyone, welcome to Of Meta Thursdays. This week, we're playing Gyruda Ramp in Best of 1 Standard. As always, if you enjoy the content, it would be awesome if you could click that subscribe button below and help us out. It's free, it's a way to support your favorite content creators. That said, let's talk about this deck list, which is pretty cool and fun. You guys have probably played against this or already played a similar list. We are playing the banned version of Gyruda Ramp, and this is how it works. Basically, we have a companion, which is Gyruda Doom of Death. We have the style, of course, the card style of Gigant Cyber Claw Terror. The same, just a different style for the card Gyruda Doom of Death. And it says that in order to use it as a companion, all the cards in your list must have even converted mana cost. So that's why you're gonna see all our cards having 2 mana or 4 mana or 6 or 8, etc., because they all need to be converted mana cost even. So let's continue. So basically, what are we trying to do? We're trying to ramp real quickly with Paradise Druid, Wolf Willow Haven, Growth Spiral, and even Lifkin Druid. This is our ramp pack. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 13 cards that can get us to ramp into a quick Gyruda. Once you get Gyruda on the battlefield, what happens? He's gonna mill 4 cards. You get to choose one of these creatures from your graveyard that has even converted mana cost, of course, and put it into the battlefield for free. Now, this is an enter the battlefield effect, which means if you get a spark double, you get to copy Gyruda, you get to trigger the enter the battlefield effect again. If you get another Gyruda, you get that on the battlefield, you choose to keep one, you get to trigger the enter the battlefield effect again. You can also get a Thassa, and then you can blink Gyruda at the end of the turn to trigger the effect again. So what do we do with all these trigger effects from the Gyrudas? We try to build a massive board in 1 or 2 turns that can just smash into the opponent's face and win the game. So the quickest way to do that is, again, we get more spark doubles to copy Gyruda to keep on going with the Gyruda effect until we get maybe Endrace Forerunner to give everything haste and attack in 1 big turn. Or we can get things like Dream Trawler, Charming Prince to just blink Gyruda again at the end of the turn, or maybe blink an elite Garmage if you need to gain some life. And yeah, that's basically it. You want 1 or 2 turns and build a massive board and win the game that way. So the only thing is this deck suffer from several things. That's why I don't think this is like a tier 1 deck. This is mostly off meta, and you can win a lot of games with this, but again, it's not a tier 1 deck because it suffers from certain problems. For example, there's a card called Graph Digger's Cage. If somebody plays that against you, then you can't use the effect of Gyruda. Nothing that's in the graveyard can come into the battlefield, or even on the library cannot come into the battlefield. So your strategy, it's completely put off with this card. It's another card as well, which is Hushbringer. It's just a 2 mana 1/2 that says none of the enter the battlefield effects work. So this also stops Gyruda. So there's a lot of ways to go against Gyruda, and I think this is why, again, I'm considering this deck to be off meta and not a tier 1, tier 2 meta. That said, it's a very fun and it's actually a very cool deck that otherwise, if these cards didn't exist, it could be a real contender for the #1 meta deck currently in the format. Alright, so just to say, guys, you know, we have a couple of things. Like if you're playing against aggro, we have Charming Prince on Elite Garmage to gain you life, so be sure to play those accordingly. If you're playing against Rakdos or Mono Red, you want to make sure you are gaining life, otherwise they could still win through Gyruda and its massive board. Make sure to also maybe get a Dream Trawler instead of an Endrace Forerunner if you think you can now win during that turn. If you need to gain life, make sure to do that. Thassa is very important to also triggering Gyruda and things like that. Charming Prince also can blink and return things at the end of the turn, so make sure as well there's a way to maybe protect a Gyruda, protect a Dream Trawler. You can just blink that, and then during your opponent's turn, it'll be safe because it's on exile and it comes back at the end of their turn. So just a couple of things to keep that in mind. Make sure your opening hand has proper ramp. If you don't have ramp, you might want to mulligan. The reason is this deck works around the ramp. You need to get your Gyruda on the battlefield as quick as possible if you want to really win the game. Otherwise, your opponent could have counters. Bad matchups are maybe Azorius Control, maybe Simic Flash, Dimir Flash, because they can counter your Gyruda and your whole strategy just goes to waste. So keep that in mind. You want a good opening hand, and then from there on, make sure you get your Gyruda on the battlefield and start doing Gyruda things. All right. Well, again, this is a really fun deck. We hope you guys can craft this or a similar list. And yeah, like always, links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Okay guys, we are playing Gyruda Ramp in best of 1 standard. This hand is obviously awful because we don't have any of our ramp spells, so we're gonna mulligan. We're going to keep this one just because of the Wolf Willow Haven, but it's not great. We have to send Enray's Forerunner to the bottom of the library. And we're playing against a Yorion deck, which it's not ideal. This could have counters and such, so right, scry that to the bottom. We get to play Charming Prince next turn to scry a bit more and find some more ramp options. Thought Erasure is gonna take something. I wonder what. They are playing like Grixis, so the Vow Decree is interesting. Take the Charming Prince. That's a good take, opponent. Well done. Yep, we are doing this. Wolf Willow Haven on the Temple of Enlightenment. Short past the turn. Let's see what else they have. They scry. Alright, we get another land, so we're not going to complain about that. We're going to just Thassa here, see if our opponent... we don't see any 2-mana counters there from our opponent. We see Fires of Invention, that's cool. And Drawn from Dreams, that's nice. At least we get to get rid of this Fires of Invention. So this is Grixis Fires, and it's actually Planeswalkers. Alright, I guess we pass the turn and hope for the best. We could still win from here, but not, you know. We see Bolas. Yep. So Bolas cannot get rid of Thassa. I guess we get rid of Spark Double. Omen of the Sea. Yep. Scries. Now, Grixis doesn't really play Wraths. So maybe we're going to be okay. And they can't counter anything, so that's good. We're going to just Gyruda right now and see how far we can go with this combo. Alright, we get to Spark Double. Copy Gyruda. Get to do this again. We get to Charming Prince. Exile. 1, 2. That's annoying because if we do the exile, then we can't attack Bolas, and we do want Nicole to die. So cancel. Let's cry. We're gonna keep the Spark Double. That seems fine. Now we can attack, get rid of Bolas. Pass the turn, and we can blink Charming Prince to blink Gyruda? Yeah, let's do that. I don't mind that. Because that allows us to keep a Gyruda like in a safe place for next turn. So that's nice. Yep, you go, opponent. You go. They get to... Ooh, they didn't even scry with Omen of the Sea. That's cool. Okay. Play a land. What are they playing now? Maybe a Chandra, or... They can kill some of these creatures, right? But we do have a Gyruda safe. And Yorion, sure. I get to scry again with Omen of the Sea. That's fine. So next turn we can tap Yorion. Oh, Fail Wishes, okay. That's cool, and they get an ultimatum, so throw all non-land permanents. Nice. Our graveyard, Spark Double, Gyruda. Our graveyard, Spark Double, Gyruda. Our graveyard. Charming Prince. Scry. Elite Garmage. Do we need... How much? They are at 19, so we just need to tap this creature and they're dead. So, whatever, that's fine. These come back in, they get to scry. And, yeah, that's game. Just tap the Yorion. Go all in. Alright, good game, Grixis. Okay guys, this is Of Meta Thursdays, and we are playing Gyruda Ramp in Best of 1 Standard. Yeah, this hand looks good. We can definitely ramp with our Paradise Druid. Hopefully we maybe draw a couple of more ramp options. Our opponent's playing Lurus, okay. Ooh, this is just the new Rakdos Lurus, so, Alright, so what do we want to do? I guess we planes into Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. Now the good thing is our opponent obviously doesn't have any sort of counter for our Gyruda, but that said, you know. Alright, C2 Swamps, so still not a red or white source in this case. I wonder if this is just like mono black Lurus. Mire Trident, sure, okay, that's cool. We see a cat. Nice. Alright. So we can Temple of Mystery. We can do two things this turn, right? We can play Breeding Pool. Play Paradise Druid. And play Charming Prince. Gain 3 life here. We can also scry, but I'd rather gain 3 here. Because we are pretty close to playing our Gyruda anyway. I don't think we're gonna die before we at least get 1 enter the battlefield effect. Alright, we finally see the Blood Crypt. Sure. So we know they're not playing Mayhem Devil. That's one good thing. They go attacking. We don't care if this Mire Trident kills our Charming Prince. So that's fine. Let's see what else they got. They go with Kroxa. Okay. So Kroxa... we will have 6 mana next turn, so we don't necessarily need this Temple of Mystery. do they have a way to kill this Paradise Druid? They don't. They just play Cauldron Familiar. So we're good to go, guys. We play Hallow Fountain. We play our Gyruda. And we go from there. They can get a bunch of things from the graveyard, but still don't think it's going to be enough. We get to Elite Garmage. Gain life, draw a card. Alright. Because they can play Luros, but they don't get anything this turn per se. I mean, they could get one of these 1-mana creatures, but that's not enough. Also, none of these things have Death Touch because they attacked with their Mire Trident, so we can freely attack. But I'm looking forward to Spark Doubling this Gyruda. They can play Kroxa if they want to, like, protect themselves, but that's pretty much it. Call of the Dead. Sure, this doesn't have... this is... yeah. Alright. Cool. All the cats are in. It's fine. No attacks. Very, very, very cool. So, we have the Vow Decree, which will get rid of the Priest for now. We'll keep the Spark Double, because this means that we can Spark Double Gyruda and get another trigger here. My graveyard, Spark Double. Copy Gyruda. Get another 7/7. This opponent has... we can get Thassa, I guess. Can we win this turn? I think we can win this turn. So we get... well, the problem is we don't get to trigger yet. So... I think I still want to get Thassa. We attack with these cards. Our opponent's gonna block, you know, trigger Serrated Scorpion and whatnot. That's fine with us. We just go with Elite Garmage, gain 3 life, and yeah, opponent, you're gonna have a hard time with this. We also have End-Race Forerunner, so if we draw... this is 5, this is 8 mana. We currently have 6, so we need 2 more. Alright, so we're not there yet, but... yep, opponent plays Luros, plays another... or maybe plays the Witch's Oven. That would be nice. Yep, now they can sort of protect themselves. Alright, we get Fable Passage. We get to play Lifkin Druid. Sacrifice Fable Passage to find an island. Play Elite Garmage. Draw a card. Sure. So next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our opponent concedes finally. Sure. Good game, Luros Aristocrats. Okay guys, we are playing Gyruda Ramp in Best of 1 Standard, and even though we have a Gyruda or Gigant in hand and an End-Race Forerunner, we do have a nice ramp here, so we are going to keep this. We go first, so we get to Breeding Pool tapped. Next turn we can Paradise Druid. Next turn we can Growth Spiral or Wolf Willow Haven and go from there. We see a Temple of Epiphany. Okay. Well, Fable Passage is actually pretty nice, but we are going to Paradise Druid first. Now, ideally, I don't want to tap. Alright, so we're going to go Fable Passage. Wolf Willowhaven onto the plains. Ooh, I did not want to do that. Alright guys, we are in trouble. Our Paradise Druid is going to die to a Bone Crusher Giant. And now we are a turn behind from casting Gyruda. That was a misplay. Apologies. We thought these two lands were going to tap, but the plains never tapped, so that's pretty bad. Now we're going to get a blue source here, and we are going to Growth Spiral. Well, we can now, but... Yep, that would have been nice. Alright, we're just going to Growth Spiral regardless. We get a land. Going to play it. Comes in tapped. Pass the turn. That was really bad. Apologies. So again, what happened was we play Wolf Willowhaven thinking we were going to tap Plains and Breeding Pool, but we, didn't think about the auto tapping, and our Plains didn't get tapped. Instead, our Paradise Druid got tapped, and now we are possibly going to lose this game to this Fires of Invention. Let's see what our opponent plays here with their... If we draw a land, we get to play Gyruda, but... They go with Fail Wishes, just playing it. Plain old Fail Wishes, okay. So we are definitely gonna Gyruda here. We're gonna get a Dream Trawler no matter what. I think Dream Trawler could help us win this game, so we're gonna try that. We also have a Thassa in hand, so that could be good for next turn. Let's see how our opponent drives this turn here. Seems like this is like Jeskai. Scorching Dragonfire, okay. I mean, we have another Gyruda in hand, so this is not like... It's sort of fine for us. They're gonna spend their turn just killing Gyruda, and we have another one in hand, so... We are not complaining about this at all. Remember, they have Fires of Invention, so they can only cast 2 spells, and they cast these 2, so... We're good. We are really good, opponent. So even with the punt, we managed to stabilize here. Send a bunch of our opponent's things to the graveyard as well. Keep sending stuff. And our opponent concedes. Good game. Alright guys, we are playing Gyruda Ramp in Best of 1 Standard. And yeah, we have Wolf Willowhaven, we have Paradise Druid, so we have Ramp. Unfortunately, a couple of tap lands, but this is fine. We're going to first Temple of Mystery to scry, keep the Hallow Fountain. So we should be able to Gyruda in time. Hopefully our opponent doesn't get too aggressive with their Luros Aristocrats hand. Gonna play Paradise Druid here. Just get that on the battlefield. Next turn we can scry and play Wolf Willowhaven. And we should be good for a turn 4 Gyruda. Yeah, we're not gonna block opponent. This is Orsov, so it's less aggressive than Rakdos Aristocrats. Alright, so Temple of Mystery. Paradise Druid to the bottom. Play Wolf Willowhaven onto the forest. Make sure we don't tap the Paradise Druid. Alright, no attacks. So next turn, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should have a Gyruda in play. We see Luros coming down. That's fine. At this point, we are at 19, going down to 18, but We are not afraid. Gyruda comes down, starts doing Gyruda things. We don't really want a Cruel Celebrant. Get a double spark. Get another Gyruda trigger. Get an elite Garmage. Gain 3 life. Pass the turn. And we're 2 turns away from an end race Forerunner, so that's going to be nice. Play this, attack with everything. That might be game at that point. Of course, our opponent can play all these things, but don't think we're going to lose from these triggers. They can only play one thing a turn, so... Kaya's Wrath is actually a thing they can play. Yep, that's definitely a thing they can play. We're going to scry, keep the Gyruda, and play... Ooh, we don't have a white lamp. Okay, we don't have a white source on the battlefield. So, alright. Well, Lurus went to the graveyard as well, so we're not going to complain about that. They're going to get Lurus, and now they can get something else. Kaya's Ghost Form, that's okay. Again, we're not aiming... we're aiming to go on top of these guys, and I think we can definitely do that. We're going to shuffle our deck a little bit here with Fable Passage. Get up Plains. Play another Gyruda. Make our opponent have another Kaya's Wrath. I think we get Thassa. I like Thassa much better. We're gonna play Charming Prince. Well, you know what? Let's just copy that again. Just keep things going. Get Elite Garmage. So this is the same exact board that our opponent Wrath last time. They have an Ajani, okay. And they have a Cauldron Familiar, that's fine. Drain us for 1. Witch's Oven from the graveyard, I think. That's cool. And wow, that was a mistake. They're trying to grow this Ajani for some reason. And I think that's not going to pay off because our end race Forerunner, it's going to come down and it's going to be bad. Alright, well, you know, sometimes things like this happened, and opponent, you should have thought about what you were doing. Yeah, they can get back Lurus, that's nice. But again, they're only playing one thing a turn with Lurus, so we are pretty good here. And we get to maybe just blink Elite Garmage and gain some life here, so... All of our creatures have Trample as well, so... They're not really stopping much, but thankfully they did gain a bunch of life, so... but that still didn't do it. Good game, opponent. They gained 1 there from... or a couple of lives from... What do we want to do? I guess we can keep doing Gyruda things. Fiend Artisan is interesting, but... Let's see, how many cards we have left? We have 20 left. Don't want to deck ourselves out, even though our opponent is at 1 life. I think I'm going to get this Fiend Artisan and have an 11/11 on the battlefield. opponent does not have a Fiend Artisan. So, alright. We can tap the Luru so they don't gain life next turn. Yep, this is nice, opponent. This is a nice combo for sure, guys. It's the problem is this combo can get really it's susceptible to a lot of things like Wrath, counters especially. So that's why this is not a meta deck. But of Meta Thursdays, this is good. Okay, guys, we are playing Gyruda Ramp and best of one standard, non-rank. Since this is of Meta Thursdays, and yeah, I think this hand's cool. We're on the play, so we get to Temple of Plenty, turn 2 Lift Druid, turn 3 Growth Spiral, and we might be able to Gyruda on turn 4, potentially. Alright, turn 1, keep the Forest. We see a Scorch Spitter, okay. Well, we are going to... Huh. I guess we forced into Lift Druid just to protect ourselves a little bit. Now we are going to have to shock ourselves for the Growth Spiral, but at least we don't get hit from this Scorch Spitter too hard. Alright, another Lift Druid is nice. But it's nicer even if we go Lift Druid, Growth Spiral, play Breeding Pool tapped, and if both of our Lift Druids survive, we're gonna have a Gyruda in play, plus a potential Dream Trawler the turn after. Alright, so our opponent can... Alright, I guess they can shock Lift Druid now. Oh, but they go light up the stage. Alright. I mean, they are doing good things, right? Because they're playing mono red, but unfortunately, Gyruda is coming down now. Not a lot. We didn't get a lot there, so we're gonna have to play the land tapped. Fortunately, all lands here. And nothing we can play from our opponent's side. So our opponent can play something to up Runaway Stimkin and then fire up... Huh, but it seems like they don't have enough lands, so they're just gonna go Bone Crusher and light up the stage, grow the Stimkin, get a few cards. None of them are lands. They could play the Runaway Stimkin potentially and try to win that way. Yep. Attack here. Yep. Hit us for 2. We get rid of one of these spitters. So we have been a little lucky in the fact that our opponent hasn't been able to draw anything else. I wonder if we should just Dream Trawler here. Just to be able to gain life next turn, because if we play Gyruda and we don't get the appropriate cards, then we die. So I think we do that and pass the turn here. Let our opponent do Runaway Stimkin stuff. See what they do. I think if they would have gotten at least one more land in the last 2 turns, they would have been able to go off here with Runaway Stimkin, so... Rubber of the Rich comes down for now. Okay. We have 3 extra mana. What are they gonna do with it? Okay, Rimrock Knight, that's fine. Okay. Rimrock Knight, sure. Annex, okay, well, they're going all in for the possible Embercleave next turn. Unless they try it this turn. Bone Crusher Giant, okay. And that's probably it, right? Like... okay. We are going to attack with Dream Trawler. We definitely need this, and maybe if we draw... ooh, the Vow Decree is actually really good here. They can block with Robber, I guess. They don't. So if we play this... I like Thassa. We are going to Devout Decree this Annex. Leave the Spark Double there, because that's going to trigger our... Gyruda. Pass the turn. Your opponent, I mean, if they attack with everything... okay. So they are gonna Embercleave, but what does that do? Like... we... block here... block here... block here, or actually block here, block here, block this guy. And we still have a Dream Trawler next turn, so I guess we'll find out. They don't have a choice either, so it's like they had to attack with everything and hope to win that turn, because if they stay back on defense and we start attacking, that's gonna be game. So they're gonna put Embercleave on what? Okay. Well, that's gonna die. They're gonna shock the Gyruda. They could shock the Gyruda. But they don't, so... all of these things just die. And we still have a Gyruda in play. So, yeah, good game on red. That was all for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And click the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Have a good one.